Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions of the worlds of pop culture, film, everything really depending on the guest to talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as Peter Beats. My guest is in a lot of cool things. Most recently, you're going to catch him in Wildcat coming out end of April. Luke Benward is with us. Luke, welcome to Popternative, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
I mean, let's be honest. People that have kind of followed you throughout your career and everything, I mean, you know, this is very different compared to what you've worked on in the past, this movie. What was it like working on this compared to Dumplin and other projects?
Yeah. Well, I think tonally it's definitely very serious compared to, especially Life of the Party, but also, Dumplin. And it was good. It was a nice change of pace. It was a character that really required a lot of, immersion. Is that a word?
Yeah.
I had to immerse myself in the settings, in the environment. I, changed my diet in order to kind of emulate what it would feel like. And so I wanted to feel gaunt. I wanted to feel weak. I wanted to feel tired. And it all takes place in one room, which actually allowed us to shoot in sequence. So that was, that's pretty much unheard of for films. And so that was really cool. It felt like, like a long drawn out play. And I was really able to track emotion, and it was cool, man. It was a really cool experience.
Were you hoping, because you obviously started doing stuff on the Disney Channel, How to Eat Fried Words, were you hoping you were going to be able to kind of, as an actor, work on a lot of different genres of stuff, Luke? Was that the plan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of been my, go-to. And I don't think this is unique by any means to actors, but I want to play it all. I want to play the array. I want to look back and be like, wow, like I've really hit so many different levels and empathized with so many different people and felt so many different things. And I think this was a really great step that I was extremely excited for going into it towards that.
Absolutely. It's interesting because, like you said, this movie is dialogue. It's a conversation basically happening between two people. When you were reading the script, what was kind of going through your mind? Because, there is the kind of action component. When people saw the trailer for it, it's not out yet. The trailer shows that there could be some action. There's a lot of heavy dialogue going on. What was going on when you were kind of reading the script for this?
What's so cool about this piece is in this film. It's funny, in the behind the scenes, I found myself continuously calling it a piece, just because it does feel like a play. Like it, even on the page, like it read like a play. There wasn't much stage direction. There wasn't, there's not much to do. Like it is very much about real people in these wild circumstances.
Yes.
On both sides too. Like, my character of Luke has his black and his white, and so does Mito's character of Abu Khalid. It's this really cool, balanced character, and it allows for this film to live in the gray area. And I think that was what I was really intrigued by, was like I was able to see myself, and it forced me to think and feel, which is really the goal of films. So
yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. And there is a lot kind of going on, the dialogue. There's a lot kind of going on in terms of this has some action, this has some thriller, this has some horror, some scary components too as well. Did you notice this was a genre-bending movie as well, Luke?
Definitely. Yeah. To have something that intense, categorized as a thriller for sure, because the heartbeat is that intensity.
100%.
But with the layers and the, emotional levels of a drama, it's one of a kind.
You talked about immersing yourself into the character. Can you go into more detail about the learning experiences for you as an actor in terms of the craft of acting on Wildcat, Luke?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not a trained soldier, so that was something where I can't, act like I could ever understand. But I, the things that I do understand is people, and I understand how I operate, and I understand, if I were to be conditioned to survive torture, would I succeed? And if I could succeed, what would that be? And I ultimately kind of hit a place of like, well, I think that it would be the undying loyalty to my family, my brothers and sisters that I left behind, and that I'm ultimately protecting by, enduring this. And so that became the through line, I think, between, the humanity of myself and the character is doing it for something larger than me, and doing it for the people that, you know, I hold dearest.
A lot of people in the entertainment industry wear many hats. You know, they act, they direct, they produce, and everything. This is a script that just is so dialogue heavy and so impactful. Do scripts like this make Luke Benward maybe want to experiment maybe with screenwriting or behind the camera as well?
Sure. Yeah. You're actually, you know, the pandemic's been tough. It's obviously shut down everything. So we're getting back up again, and I'm excited to get on set. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of my time writing for the past like 4 years. Really, I've got a few things now that I feel really confident in. But also producing in the last year, and I directed a short that's being submitted to festivals for this coming year. So yeah, fingers crossed on that. But yeah, I love the art of filmmaking. I feel alive on set, and there's nothing like it, you know, and you see a film that really inspires and challenges you. So
but it's interesting, there's TV and film, you worked in both, but like, do you kind of separate the two, or is it kind of both acting? Do you have a different mindset going into both of them, Luke?
Yeah, I've done a lot of pilots, so I haven't had the pleasure of, you know, playing a character for months on end. The closest I've had is like a, you know, heavy recurring where I do whatever, I think like 10 or 15 episodes, something like that. Yeah. And it's fun. It's definitely a different animal. It's more of the, you know, long game, whereas film is definitely more concentrated and intense for a shorter amount of time. But I would say I'm probably more used to, like, I'm more comfortable in that. And that's kind of what I've done more of. But yeah, I guess I would say it's two different kind of ways of approaching it.
The obvious answer to this question, Luke, is you hope people enjoy it. You hope they recommend it to their friends. Diving deep into it a little bit more, what are you hoping the audience gets when they watch Wildcat, Luke?
I hope that it's different, you know. That's, I think, the beauty of it is that it lives in the gray area, like I said, and that allows for that subjectivity to take hold in the audience and challenge them in very individual and distinct ways. So yeah, I hope that people laugh. I hope that they cry. I hope that they're in pain. I hope that, you know, and at the end they're like, wow, that was a ride. Because that's how I felt once I got done with the script. I just was like,
did you expect, like, it's fun, like, did you know, like, when you were auditioning for something like this, did you know it was going to be this dialogue heavy? Like, you knew about what the concept was, right?
Yeah, no, I had read the script before I went in. Yeah. And so I was like, obviously very, very motivated to go in and kill it, but I was also like, wow, like, this is an actor's piece. Like, this is the one
expecting that much dialogue, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Because you see you see the trailer, right? And then you see the movie, right? And it's just like, I wasn't like, there's a lot of, it's a conversation for a lot of the
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, the trailer looks like an action movie for sure.
What has the reception been from your family and friends in terms of, like, you kind of working on projects like this? This is a big project for Luke Benward. You know what I mean? Kind of similar with, like, Dumplin. This is a big project for you. You're used to doing a lot of stuff where your music comes into play on Disney Channel. You're doing these big scale kind of action thriller films. What's it been like for you and your family and friends, Luke?
Oh, just nothing but support, you know, which is, I'm so thankful for. Yeah, I came off this movie and I felt alive, man. I you know, felt like I had reached a high, you know. I felt like I had these out of body experiences where, you know, just emotion and energy moved through me in ways that I didn't plan. And I thought, you know, that came off honestly being like, that's the bar. Like, I have to give of myself completely and you know, sacrifice myself for these characters, or there's no point. Like, and so, you know, it was a really cool, enlightening experience, and, you know, everyone's been really supportive of me through it and proud of me. So it's felt great.
Does it, because it, like I said, the genres are different that you've worked on the past. You know, start when you were younger, you did How to Eat Fried Worms and everything, and, you know, you do these. I mean, the mindset obviously changes because it's different kind of projects. You know what I mean? But it's acting at the end of it, right?
Right. Yeah. For sure. Each character you got to approach differently, you know, and Life of the Party was one where I was able to cut loose and feel free on camera and laugh and experiment. And it was a beautiful process on that one with Ben and Melissa. I can't speak highly enough about it. They're incredible human beings and incredible artists. And that was awesome. And then, you know, Dumplin is its whole other animal. It's like kind of in the middle ground where it's it's funny and it's quirky, but it's grounded, and you know, it has those serious moments. And this one is obviously even further, where it's like
the hype around Dumplin was huge. That was a big hype train there.
yeah, it had its moment for sure. It's a great little movie. Dumplin it came out really well. I'm proud of that one.
Absolutely. Luke, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Same. Thanks for having me.
So the film's coming out April 23rd in theaters, but then April 27th is going to be on demand and digital, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and it's a fun ride. It's a great movie. It's a slow burn, this film.
Yeah, for sure.
And people are going to be able to check it out. Where can they follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything as well?
Yeah, well, my Instagram is LA Benward.
Yep.
I am not the most consistent poster of all time.
But when you can, you'll post.
Exactly, yeah. And then I'm Luke Benward on Twitter. That's pretty much what I have. I haven't really experimented anywhere else, but
absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Catch Luke Benward in Wildcat coming to you end of April. Until next time, this is Luke Benward and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.